Wow. Alright guys, the moment y'all have all been waiting for, we're doing a full review on the brand new Traxxas Snap-on Sprint Car. What is up guys, my name is Mark Santamaria, welcome back to the channel, welcome back to the RC vlog. Guys, today we're doing a deep dive, a mega deep dive into this brand new Traxxas platform they call the Sprint Car. It's a 1920 Sprint Car, and right now it's only sold through Snap-on. Now there's a lot of speculation on how you can get it. My understanding is you have to get it through a raffle. There's a lot of people who commented on my last video that I did whenever I picked it up on their opinions on how they get it. I don't know the truth. I don't care. We have one. We're going to review it. All right. Got my notes here. We got to get ready. This is going to be a long one. I'll put timestamps to all the sections or chapters in this video in the description below. So if you don't want to sit through like the unboxing and the box panels, things like that, feel free to use those timestamps in the description below. All right. The first thing we're going to go over are the box panels. Typically, I don't want to focus a lot of time on the box panels, but these box panels are actually pretty amazing. So on the front of the box, you have a beautiful front angle of the special Snap-on Sprint Car. Oh, it looks so good. It says exactly what it is on the bottom. It says it's limited edition by Snap-on. Has Traxxas on the bottom right, Snap-on on top left. 1920 Snap-on Special Sprint Car RC Replica. And my God, it really is a replica. It looks pretty close. I did some research on sprint cars in it. It looks good. On the back side, it has a back angle of the car. I think that kind of that rear tonneau cover, I don't know if that's what you call it, just the rear quarter, the rear part of the car that's kind of bulky, almost like a bubble, is really cool. It says CM6. I don't know what that means. I'm sure that means something. Maybe you guys know. Let me know in the comments below what that means. But it's got this beautiful exhaust pipe that kind of runs down the side of the vehicle in chrome. And then Melissa actually pointed this out. It has Dayton wire wheels, which is really cool too. But very, very nice box panels. Now on the top is actually really cool because it has like the original Snap-on flyer that they released during that time. It has some old pictures of the original drivers. Very, very cool. And then it has like a little picture where it shows kind of where they are on the track. Now it looks like a dirt oval track. It might be paved. I actually did a lot of research on that also. I really couldn't find exactly what kind of track they run on. I think I'm going to run mine on a dirt oval track. This kind of looks dirt oval-ish. And then it has a driver with a trophy in the car also. But the pictures are really cool. This side of the box looks really, really sweet. On the bottom, it has a side view of the car, which I'm assuming, maybe those are like the air intake. I don't even want to get to lying, but one side's the exhaust. I'm assuming the other side is intake. I could be completely wrong. I don't know what the other silver thing is. This silver thing here, maybe that's the brake, or I don't know, guys. I'm sure you guys on YouTube will correct me. On the side, it tells you what it is. Fully assembled, ready to race. Includes BL2S brushless system, TQI radio, 2-cell 3000 milliamp battery, easy peak charger, quick start guide, quality tool set. Come on. And it does say this is a Snap-on official licensed product. On the other side, it shows some other things that come on the car, like the actual power system. The rotary dampers, that's kind of a big part of the car. That's also like a replica mechanism that I guess was on the 1920s car. Now, I thought it was interesting that it came with a TQI radio because most Traxxas cars that come with a BL2S system, they're kind of the entry-level platform cars. The TQI system is usually on the higher end cars, which that was weird. I'll dig more into that in a little bit. And then it comes with your 2S LiPo battery and charger. So that's it for the box panels. Now, my first impression of the car, when I first saw the car in pictures, in videos, I was trying to figure out what it's supposed to cost. Everyone has their opinion on what it costs. No one knows for sure. Maybe people know for sure. Everyone thinks they know for sure, but the price range is everywhere. Right now, because there's such a limited amount of them, they're going anywhere between $1,200 and $2,000 on eBay, and they're actually selling for that, which is absolutely insane. But the reason why I'm saying this is because whenever I purchased this car, the first thing I did is I really kind of looked at the details of this car to see if it was one of the higher end Traxxas cars. And when I mean higher end, I mean like a UDR is kind of a higher end Traxxas car. It has a lot of the higher end components, obviously TQI radio, TSM, those kind of things. Metal turnbuckles, like those are all kind of key components that make a higher end car. Now when I saw this one, I couldn't tell, but it looks like these pieces were metal. All these pieces were metal. And I was like, wow, that is a higher end car. Like, you're not going to put anodized aluminum pieces on a low end car. So I was super excited. I also saw the leaf springs. Like, to me, that's kind of a higher end thing. It seems like a quality thing, something that they're going to take a lot of pride in. Now, these are not metal. The actual trailing arms and suspension arms are not metal. They are plastic. They look silver, but they are plastic. So whenever I first saw it, I was like, crap. This is not going to be one of the higher end cars. Now, it is extremely special. Again, a new platform, so it's special to me. Also, the rotary dampers, they're plastic with just a spring in the middle, but it doesn't look like they used a lot of the aluminum pieces, a lot of the stuff that you would see on the higher end Traxxas vehicles. My opinion on cost, if I had to guess, when this car releases, I'm going to think that it's going to release anywhere between the $450 to $550 range. That's what I think. That's my personal opinion. That's going based on what I see here. Obviously, it's not going to go for under $300 because the BL2S cars, I mean, they're really not even going for under $300, especially with the battery and charger. But because this is such a special design and it's licensed, I think it's going to go for a lot. So what does it come with? It comes with the usual stuff. It comes with a manual, a parts list. Now, I'll flash the parts list up. I know a lot of guys were asking what's on the parts list. I'll show you guys. You'll have to pause it or figure out how to get it off, but there you go. It comes with your basic hand tools that most Traxxas cars come with. It does come with a battery and charger, but there's a hint on how long they've been working on this car. It comes with the regular 4 amp Traxxas ID charger. That means that they were probably working on this before this little guy came out, because it would make more sense to come with this instead of that 4 amp Traxxas ID charger. And then it comes with a 3000 milliamp battery, but the 3000 milliamp battery came out with this. Never mind, I'm confusing myself. Comes with a TQI radio. It didn't come with that beautiful MSM beadlock thumb steer, which you can get at msmvlog.com. Shameless plug. Alright, going right into the deep dive. The first thing we'll talk about is the body. Now, it is clipless, but it's kind of weird because on the front there's one clip. You would think that you would pull from the front, but you actually pull from the right side of the car, not the left side. It's weird how it works. And then on the back, there's two clipless pieces that you unlatch and the body comes right off. Now, one thing I noticed when I was driving it is there's kind of some play on the body, like on the front. Even when it's clipped in, like it has a little bit of play, it moves a little bit. I thought that was kind of strange. It's almost like loose. I mean, it's not a problem. You're not doing like high speed runs with it anyways, and you don't see it when you're driving it, but that was weird. Details of the body, they couldn't have done any better. I mean, this thing looks absolutely amazing. It even has what I'm assuming is maybe the fuel line on the front that runs into the, what I would assume is the engine bay. It looks great. The chrome looks great. Now, it's not real chrome, it's plastic chrome, but it looks absolutely amazing. It has details on the dashboard, like behind the steering wheel. The steering wheel looks really cool. The seat is kind of this brownish color. It also has a really cool kind of gas, I guess that's the gas cap. So what's this thing in the front? Maybe the radiator? I don't know the parts of these 1920 cars. Come on, guys. I wasn't born in 1920s. Maybe that's the gas cap on the back. We're gonna go with that. So moving on to the chassis of the car, we'll start with the front end. The front end's cool. The way it articulates, it looks kind of crawler-esque. Now, what I said in the first video, the leaf spring in the front, it does nothing. Like, I guess it does something. Like if you move it, it moves the little shackles and stuff, but it doesn't serve a purpose on the car. It does look cool. The rotary dampers are cool. There's only one for the front. Now, I did take the wheel off. The wheel is actually a 3-piece wheel. It has the actual wheel, and then there's the spokes on the front, and then the center cap, which holds the spokes onto the wheel. The center cap screws into the axle, and then it just uses the 4mm nut or the 7mm hex driver to get it off. On the inside, it is a hex. It's not a pin, so that's good. It looks cool, though, because it looks like it has rotors. Now, all the suspension, trailing arms, and things like that are plastic. However, the steering components are metal, so those are metal steering components. The spindles and stuff are kind of like a gray plastic. I don't know. I'm not sure how I feel about that. I don't know, might look better in black, but I guess the silver kind of pops more. I don't know, you guys tell me, what do you think? The steering servo saver actually looks like a Vortex servo saver. However, it has an arm that connects to this piece that kind of pushes it off on the side. I don't know if that's maybe a replica thing. I'm sure that is. I'm sure they designed that to look like the original, but it's kind of cool how it works. Moving on to the chassis, the battery bay, it looks like it's only going to handle the shorter LiPo packs. So it comes with a 3000 LiPo. I'm sure the 5800 will fit in there fine. But what I like about the battery hold down is it has clips that hold the connectors in. So once you put the battery in there and you put it together, these clips hold your battery connectors in. So it's very clean when you have the battery in. I really like that. I think they did that because it has to be clean inside so the wires don't stick out of the bottom of the body, makes it look more scale. But again, the chassis is a complete redesign. Now, one thing that's kind of disappointing is the chassis rails, they're actually plastic. Like on TRX4, they're aluminum. I thought maybe they put aluminum back there. Maybe there was aluminum on the backside and they put plastic on the outside, but the entire chassis rail is plastic. You know, after looking in here, under the ESC, there's like a piece of foam. You probably could run the longer Traxxas LiPo battery in there. I didn't even think about pulling that out. But don't, just run 3000. Now going on to the electronics, BL2S system, it's perfect in there. You don't need anything more than that. It does come with a 2075 servo, which is the higher end standard servo that they use, the 2075. Sometimes they'll put the 2056 on the lower grade cars they have. Now again, what makes it really interesting is it comes with a TQI radio. I mean, I guess they felt like they needed the stability management. I really like TQI radio. It comes with a lot more features, but you usually don't see those electronics paired together. Now moving on to the back of the car, this is what throws a lot of people off. The motor is actually facing upwards, like it's sitting vertical, which is strange. Now, I couldn't take it. I had to take the gear cover off. I did take the gear cover off. You guys can see what it looks like in there. It's 32 pitch pinion and spur gear, but I'm assuming they designed it this way. That way it would fit inside the body to ensure that scale look. Now there's double rotary dampers in the back on each side, which is nice, and they work really well, but it does have those dummy leaf springs that there's literally no tension on these things. Now the way the axle works, it looks like a standard axle, like nothing we've seen in a current Traxxas car, but basically they just kind of pivoted it up where it's now going up instead of forward like most cars. There is a differential in the back, so it's not like a straight axle. But yeah, this is a completely new axle. I wonder how many other cars are going to put this in. It's cool. It does appear the front and rear tires are the same. Wheels and tires are the same, but I did take that off so you guys could see that also. On the rear, all the suspension links are plastic. Even this black one that looks like might be aluminum, no, plastic. The aluminum one that looks aluminum, no, plastic. I'm pointing these things out because I want you guys to know I don't think there's a problem with it being plastic. This is not a car that you would buy to go bash, right? It just needs to look really, really cool. And they nailed it for that purpose. So you don't really need heavy duty suspension links and things like that. Like maybe someone's going to send it. Maybe I'll send mine, but not made for that for sure. Under the car, looks really clean. It has your Traxxas logo kind of etched in the chassis. The suspension won't even travel far enough for your chassis to hit. So you would have to basically compress the suspension and the tires for it to scratch the bottom of the vehicle. But it's so cool to see a brand new Traxxas platform. Now, in regards to driving, so I drove it. First thing I noticed is it's kind of loud. It's like the gear mesh isn't right or something. I don't think it's the gear mesh though, because it looked fine to me. But it has a lot of like mechanical noise whenever you drive it. So much so that it almost sounds like it's slipping, like the slipper clutch is slipping whenever you punch it. Stable at high speeds. I don't really have any complaints on how it handles or drives. Now, it kind of bounces a little bit, but I believe the bounce actually is a good indication of how much of a replica it is, because I'm sure back in the day, the suspension wasn't like awesome. In regards to speed, there was a guy who released the video before I did, which I know that he released it before I did. I still wanted it. I was going to do it either way. But he's getting anywhere, but I think between 20 and 25, 26 miles an hour, something like that. It's not crazy fast. But for a car that's meant to be kind of a display car and just kind of drive out in the front yard, it's perfect. It's fast enough to be exciting, but not crazy fast where you're gonna break it. Originally, I thought to myself I was gonna VXL this thing. I don't think I am. I don't want to blow the components up. And that was another question I got is, what do you do if you break something? I think if you break something, you just call Traxxas and they'll figure support's something out. Traxxas is really good. Their support's really good. And they understand these cars have been released by Snap-on. They're not just gonna leave you out to dry. So I don't plan on breaking anything, but if I do, I'll just take it up to Traxxas and see what they can do. So overall, I think Traxxas nailed it. They went for a scale-looking car. They paid a lot of attention to detail. The aesthetics, amazing. This thing's sweet. Now, is it a car that's going to handle well? No, but the cars back then probably didn't handle well anyways. There's a lot of comments about making a class where we race these things. Maybe whenever they have all the parts in stock and they have upgrades, because you're probably going to upgrade it. I'm assuming these suspension pieces will break when you hit something and you'll want to upgrade those things. But for looks, they nailed it. 10 out of 10, seriously. I even put a little guy in mine and drove around with a little dude, this dude right here. He doesn't have a name yet, but he kind of fits in there just fine. And there's plenty of room to put like an action figure in there. It's really cool. So the problems I see with it, right off the bat, I'm pretty meticulous with my RC cars. There was a wheel wobble on the right rear. I don't know what that is. Maybe it's the way it sat in the package. Maybe it's just the way the rubber and the foam kind of molded, or I don't know, but there's a significant wheel wobble in the back whenever you're driving it. Kind of annoying, but again, not a car that I'm gonna be driving all the time. More of a shelf queen, so I didn't really worry about it too much. And then again, that body thing, the body issue, like it's clipped on all the way right now, and you can tell there's a lot of body movement. So there it is, guys. I mean, that's as deep as I wanted to go. So let me know if you guys have any more questions. Put them in the comments below. I'll check them out. Maybe I'll do a follow-up video on this. I do want to run it on an oval track, so there will be more videos on this thing. I'm still not telling you guys how much I paid for it, but let's just be glad we have it. Well, I hope you liked this video. If you did, smash the like button, subscribe to my channel, turn on the notification bell, and you guys will see me next time.